All right, well, there's the intro. I'm no pro with it, but I did my best.
Perfect.
Anyways, folks, this is Ilaender from the Netherlands. I am joined by Martin and Carl. I'm really excited to chat with you guys about your new EP and kind of the origins with the band and how it came up and came to be. So we're going to dive right into this. And by the way, I hope you're doing well. I forgot to throw that in there. That's good to hear.
It's late here in Holland. We're having some days.
Hydrating up.
Being fit for the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I could be more excited, fellas. Let's go ahead and dive into how the band came to be. And you could summarize it up if you want, so it's not real drawn out. I don't care if you're drawn out. I love elaborate answers if that's the way you like to go about it. But I'll go ahead and turn it over to you and hear what you have to say about that.
Well, we as friends talked about playing in a band and play some alternative metal, some style like Deftones.
Yeah,
and we talked about that, how much we would love to do that, and we never did that before. So that's how it actually started.
Yeah, we were actually all playing in different bands 1.5 years ago. I think almost 2 years ago. I was playing in a more pop rock oriented band, like Queens of the Stone Age, Incubus sort of style. The other guys were in much harder bands. It's like sludge and
sludge metal,
and whatever sort of noise. And we became friends way before, but we always talked about, okay, actually I wanted to be in a bit harder project, and those guys just wanted to hear something once in a while. So took a couple of beers some nights to make these plans. Let's start a band. It's always something that usually doesn't work out, but this time it did. We went with some ideas in the rehearsal room and just started playing, and it sort of clicked, and then we became Ilaender.
Well, hell, that's a good story, nice and brief and summarized. So I was curious to know if there's like other versions of the band that existed before, but it sounds like it's pretty much how it is now, which that's pretty cool in itself, because a lot of bands I talk to will have, we went through about 7 lineup changes.
Oh, yeah.
Like 8 name changes, kind of toying around with like the sound you wanted to go for, if you wanted it to be more mainstream oriented and like accessible, so it could like, have chart play or radio play or, whatever. And it's funny you mentioned like Incubus and Queens of the Stone Age and Deftones, because when I'm listening to the EP, you get all those bands, like you hear like nods in your songs to like, Queens of the Stone Age, Incubus, and I'm going to throw in even Muse. I hear some Muse in there. Yeah. And I want to say it's most notable to me in songs like Push and Mind Over Matter to me. And I don't know if you're familiar with this band. You probably are, but I hear a bit of Finch. You know who Finch is?
Ooh, yes.
Yes. There's some in there. And I was trying to describe the sound to my friend I was talking to on the phone earlier about you guys, because he's only heard that short 35-second clip that I made for that intro so far, and that got him really interested. And he goes, I can't really say that they sound like anybody, but I hear influences. I'm like, yeah, right. So what I'm saying is that you guys did very well as far as like taking what influenced like the sound of the songs, but keeping your own stamp of identity on it. And that, I think that could be something that sometimes with some individuals in bands that could be a little hard to do, because maybe some bands really want that influence to be a focal point of their sound. But for you guys, you kind of just take that and expand on it in like really big ways in only 5 songs, which is impressive.
Nice. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
I think we would never. I would never deny where I learned my singing. You know, it's definitely Josh Homme and Brandon Boyd, Chino.
Yeah.
That they were my teachers when I was driving on my bike to the gym in the past. That's and the thing that came to it, I think, was also pretty natural because those guys were playing in bands in the sludge band where they really played this low tuned guitar that is not usual for the early stuff of Deftones and Queens of the Stone Age and Incubus. They played normal tuning, and so I was writing songs and had the guitar that was tuned in B flat,
right?
And I was like, this is a different world, you know. I can just sing my Incubus stuff over like two tuned down guitars, and it's just very, very much what I want, what I need in my life.
Yeah,
and that worked too well. I think that's why it came out so natural for everybody. It's like something like we just put stuff together that we all already had as ingredients. There was stuff that we knew, but not in that combination. I think that's why it maybe becomes unique as well.
Yeah, for sure. And then what about for you, Carl? Like as one of the guitar players, what kind of was the foundation for you? You could base this from like as a guitarist in general, or as a guitarist with Ilaender, like for like your influence to like how you approached it in general.
Well, the other band that Martin was calling No Gods No Masters was kind of the sludge band, but in that band I'm the singer.
Okay.
And I do the grunts and the screams. So there's the guitar playing part is actually the origins are from Deftones, I guess. That's what I was playing when I was very young at my room upstairs, where my parents were calling up, "Are you still alive?" That's how I learned how to play the guitar, actually, next to playing to the music school, of course. But then you learn the general stuff, the jazzy stuff, the bluesy stuff, but they don't teach you there the Deftones stuff. So that's what I had to figure out myself. So that's really a big foundation in how I play the guitar. I also play bands and hardcore bands and everything like that, but Deftones is really something else.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, because I definitely hear it in the playing and in your guys' songs, the Deftones and the guitar, especially because I've always said that Stephen Carpenter is a great person to reference as far as if you're wanting to kind of do that sort of sludgy, bluesy, heavy, kind of almost shoegazy, mushiga sort of guitar playing. He's a great person to reference and kind of use as like a blueprint for that. You know, music school and things like that. That's real great too. You can get really solid foundation from that. But like you kind of touched on, there's things that they don't teach you that you do kind of have to go and learn from other established guitar players that you look up to. And I feel like that's the same thing for Martin, like for singing. You could learn things in a music school, your foundations, your breathing and things like that, singing in other keys and all that stuff. But I think where you really start to become your own is when you kind of almost have to not copy, but learn that way of singing or learn that way of playing the guitar to come into your own. You can be self-taught, of course, but I hear what you're saying.
That's truly it. Really, you have to pick your style. You have to pick your you have to specialize yourself in something. I did that with Deftones guitar riffs, but the last 10-15 years never used to play those riffs. And now just as how we aimed to start this band, the music writing, the playing is also very, very well aimed to that direction, and also Queens of the Stone Age. And I know why you say Muse as well.
Yeah. You have anything to add to any of that, Martin?
Yeah, I think that's yeah, that's all. It's all correct what he says. Is I think that Steve Carpenter writes songs. I think all the Deftones songs could be played with an acoustic guitar, and Gino's just singing over most, not all of them, but a lot of it. And I really like that approach that you write songs so they're not like too many parts. It's like there's a chorus you can remember. There's stuff to sing along. Things you look forward to because they come back. Repetition. That's stuff like basic songwriting that I'm really a fan of. Because then you communicate in a better way. And but what the Deftones do, what I really like is he's playing chords that are wrong. That, like the intro of "Be Quiet and Drive," for example. What the hell is that? What is going on here? But it's all right. It fits. It's okay. And I think that's what we, for example, in Crown, the intro riff also has these top notes that are actually like, okay, these are tones that shouldn't be in that key, but yeah, they fit. They work. And I think if he taught us something, is that everything is possible, and if you use it the right way.
Yeah. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to find how those things will work together too, because with those 5 tracks on Alpha, there's, without it being like overcomplicated and like too many ideas fit into those songs, because everything is balanced. Nothing's playing over each other. Nothing is too much or too little. You know what I mean? What you guys accomplish in it's roughly 20 minutes of music on the EP, right? And your songs are expansive and sprawling, even with barely being over 3 minutes sometimes for a couple of the tracks on there. There's so much that you guys accomplished, having work out almost to a flawless end with those 5 songs, that really impressed me, because sometimes when a band does that, the execution might not quite land, if you know what I mean, because there might be a little bit too many ideas going on at the same time. Several days of listening and digesting the EP, I was kind of trying to rack my brain about, and I told you earlier, how did you pull off with 5 songs, at least for my experience with it, me not being able to settle on what song is my favorite? Because every single song is just so strong and so well written on the EP that you may as well just call that the whole EP your favorite song. You know what I mean? As just like a collective body of work.
Yeah, it's hard to pick one. That's true.
Yeah. So where I'm going with this is I want to ask you, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, where does the idea for your song start? Is it on an acoustic? Is it on a piano? Is it the pen to the paper, or in some people's cases, your notepad on your phone, or like a notepad on the laptop? What's it like in the Ilaender camp for songwriting?
Well, we have a big songwriter over here.
Yeah. I think I write most of the songs at the moment, but I love to do it. I'm not doing that for work, but I studied songwriting at a university, so I just have this in me. I want to write songs. I love it, and I think everything I pick up that has a certain energy. There's so many memos on my phone where you hear a groove or something stupid when I'm in a train. You have people chatting, I don't know, this sort of stuff, or a melody or anything, and then at night I work it out. on my computer with my interface, and I try to write a frame of a song, like the riffs, chorus, and groove, that the basic is done, and I send the demo to the guys, and then say, this is a rough idea, do whatever you want with it. If you hate it, it's all right. If you like it, we're gonna check it out. And that's what I did now for now the first 12 songs, 13 songs, and that works perfectly. I think for the guys it works also well. Everybody's working full time next to the band, and the crazy one that loves to sit the other 4 hours after work still and write songs. And at the moment that just works. I think it's also possible that we in the future we do that differently. That everybody's open for ideas, and but at the moment it's the way we did it. And I think for the beginning that's a good thing as well, because you sort of if you have too many influences coming, then you probably it doesn't get one thing. Now it has all one sauce over the whole bolognese.
Yeah. That's what you said as well, Will, that you have too many ideas in one song.
Mm-hmm.
Martin has a lot of ideas, so right now we have a lot of songs.
Yeah. Who in the band, I have a feeling it might be Martin, is that because most bands will have one or two people that will have the courage to say if something's not working, to kind of keep from an idea that needs more fleshed out, getting worked on more, or from keeping a song that just might not be super great from seeing the light of day. Who's that in the Ilaender camp?
I think that is something that we all do. It's something because I'm not really I'm not fond to my idea until we worked it out together.
Yeah, so that's in the rehearsal room, right?
Yeah, so if the idea is not great, then somebody from the guys will, because it's my idea, I wouldn't show it to the guys without me being convinced it's a good idea to do it. So one of them has to say, no, I'm not feeling it. And that's all right. Often it's Michiel. The other guitarist is pretty direct with his opinion. That helps a lot because you spare time. We can work on a song for 3 hours in the rehearsal room, and you can tell me afterwards, or you can tell me in the first 5 minutes, I'm not feeling it. We should keep on working on something else. So I think that part is more something for the guys, for you, and for Oscar, the drummer. If he's not feeling it, we don't have to do it.
Yeah, I can't. Go ahead.
Yeah, we had that with the first song, I believe. That was the first song we ever tried in the rehearsal room. Yeah, we didn't felt it, so we tried the next one.
That's all right.
How many of the songs that made it on the EP were a lot different before their finished versions? Like, were others a little more mellow than they turned out being, or were some maybe more screaming parts, maybe some with more breakdowns? Did that exist before the final version?
Crown everything turned out harder.
Yeah.
When I write my demos, they still have a sort of a bit of poppy approach to the mixing, and my guitar play is, I have a Fender Stratocaster, and I play, not the most distorted stuff. These guys, they have a different sound. So everything is going to turn out harder than my first intention, and that's all right. I like it, because it's their thing, and that makes it unique, I think. So, but Crown, I think, turned out much harder than it was intended in the beginning. So I didn't know that I could scream like that.
That song hits hard, man. Like it's that riff and like your vocals, the scream you're talking about, and it's a cherry on the top kind of song where nothing could have been done better, in my opinion. It turned out exactly perfectly, and I still can't say it's my favorite, like I said, because all 5 songs on there are just so strong on their own, But for you two, is there any certain songs that are the most important to you that you would say are your favorite?
Crown is definitely my most favorite song to play live, because I just go insane. You know, it's I have a certain idea about what the lyrics are about. It's about my neighbor here next door who's with his
VR
VR helmet and glasses every night, creeping me out. So I have a pretty certain picture of a bit post-apocalyptic idea, you know, surrogates, whatever.
Yeah, now I understand the little thumbnail for the video.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
see that every
that's cool.
It's a creepy thing to see. You know, I would go for a walk with the dog and then I see him again. Like, oh God, the world is going to shit.
yeah, man, for sure.
No, but there's some songs that are very important to me. Mind Over Matter is a song that's very, you know, it's a more melancholic. Lyrics are very important to me.
A lot of the lyrics sound very personal too, like and I'm not sure in what kind of sense they're personal, and that's for you to say if you want to or not to say, and that I'm totally fine either way. And for you, Carl, what are some of yours?
Mind Over Matter, for sure.
Yeah,
that was when that song came up and when we played it together. That really did something to me. But it's not even one of the loudest songs or one of the hardest sounds. I didn't pick it out myself. It just happened. That's one song that I really, really enjoy. I enjoy playing it. I enjoy listening it. Everything. And Crown as well. Yeah, that's the song where everything happens.
Is that
3 minutes time? Everything happens.
Yeah, is that the song that gets the crowd just wild?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine.
This pumping riff does something to people. It's
nice. Makes them kind of primal, a little bit unhinged.
Start a fire.
Yeah.
Like automatically it goes head banging.
Yeah. That was definitely the first song I heard from you guys as well. And that's the one that got me going, okay, I need to find them on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, shoot a message over and see how it pans out. I've had a lot of instances that played out that way for bands I've had on. Literally just found a new fan, and I'm just having to go and reach out.
Well, that works perfectly, right? It's nice. Yeah. Now you're super. Somewhere in the US and we're here somewhere in the Netherlands and we have a chat. It's great. I love it. Yeah,
I would say that shows that you guys have reach.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm following the numbers on Spotify for analytical reasons. I like to see where people listen to music, and actually the Helsinki in Finland.
Really?
Most people listening to music at the moment, so that's super weird. But we probably have to go there. So
I mean, I would say if it's even possible, come over here too. I'd love to see a live show over here. I mean, that's a lot logistically that goes into that for a band coming overseas from here or anywhere. There's a lot that goes into that. But I'm sure maybe if it works out for you guys, there's bands that would take you on to some kind of tour package, which I would love to see happen for you.
That would be amazing. With my other band, we played in the US, in LA, the Whiskey Da Go-Go, and everybody plays there probably. Who's coming?
Yeah, it's a popular venue for sure.
But it had to be super undercover because of the tax office is, we just could have called it a promotional, only promotional event. So when we want to earn money on our to sort of make this possible, there's a lot of logistics and bureaucratic things we have to handle to come to the US. But it's a dream. I love to come. I love it.
Yeah, I hope it happens.
Yeah, man.
For how perfect would it be to land on a bill with Deftones?
Yeah.
Oh God. We'll be done then. I go into retirement after that, I guess.
Yeah, you've peaked. You've reached your summit.
Yeah.
And it's just down from there, right?
Right, yeah. Well, let's hope not. Let's hope we want to keep going.
Yeah. I want to touch back on Push a little bit and say what I was gonna say to you in the DM on Facebook. So the bridge section, right? When that softer part of the song where things slow down and your vocals get sort of a little more. I'm going to use the word tender, like soft. And the band that came to mind when you did that, and I didn't expect to hear it, and I hope this is a compliment, is U2.
U2?
Yes, U2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Bono.
Yeah. It could be the way your vocals sounded or just the way the instrumentation was, because I can't tell you what song from U2 I would say.
You're not the first one who's saying that. I heard someone saying that as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't dare to tell it.
Yeah. But that's probably one of my favorite bridge sections on the album. It's just so like in all that like chaos and like sprawling tempo, like that heavy riffing, like you said, the punk kind of attitude that it has, and then the bridge gets there and it just like it's kind of like a ray of light hitting you when it's really, really cold outside and just making your body warm.
Yeah.
It's kind of the experience that the bridge gave me. And I'm like, man, that's just stellar stuff.
No, I really like to sing that way as well. It's a very warm way to sing. It's the perfect the perfect range to sing relaxed, to just get all your warmth in your voice, transferred into the microphone. So I really like to sing that part. It's amazing. Everything, you have a lot of chaos before, and then everything falls into place. That's how it feels. That's also playing it live.
Yeah.
Then go back to the chaos.
Yeah. Where does that song stand for you two as far as the collective of the EP? Like, would you have a rating for your songs? You said Crown sounds like that's your baby right now, but where does Push fall as far as that goes for you? Because
Push is not far behind, man.
Yeah.
Push is not far behind, I think.
Yeah.
It's on another one. It's 1B.
Yeah.
It was really hard to record that song or to mix it because I told you also in the DMs, it's so many different parts, so many different styles combined in one song. Even the Stranger Things arpeggiator synthesizers that are in it. How to mix it with the gong 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 hardcore riffing that is coming out at the end. It was pretty challenging to get that right, but that's also the fun of it. Somehow it all works together. But it's super fun to play. Also, there you sort of have your Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde mask on, and that just makes a lot of fun.
Yeah, but what you said about the bridge, that's the same feeling that I have with Mind Over Matter.
Yeah,
the cleaner parts.
Yeah, I could see why.
Yeah.
Like you guys execute those softer moments on the album in exactly the spots of the songs that I think, I don't know if they work in other parts of the songs as well. It's almost like those moments where you give the listener time to kind of settle a little bit before you get back into kind of like the ramping and the riffing and stuff, So obviously there's more songs that are going to be on the way and I would guess that it's going to be some of the same kind of song arrangements, but maybe some surprises, right?
There's going to be a big surprise.
Yeah.
We have a pretty heavy ballad.
Yeah. I love heavy ballads.
that sort of was going to surprise a lot of people that know the harder guys. I think they would never play in their lives, probably. So they're going to shock a lot of people with that. So now we were planning actually before the EP to make a full length. We recorded almost everything already for a whole album. But a few months ago, my father passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
So we had to sort of pull the plug on what we were actually wanting to achieve to finish that up. So we have actually 2 EPs almost ready, and this is Alpha, and Beta is coming soon. Yeah, so I just needed a break. So yeah, we're back now on finishing the rest of the songs up, and hopefully in the next I think a few months already we're gonna drop the first single of the second EP.
Well, condolences for your father, by the way. I'm sorry to hear that.
Thanks. Much appreciated.
That does tend to derail things for sure. But makes a lot of sense to kind of take a break in that instance and reevaluate so something doesn't get maybe messed up in the process, so kind of have a clear head and focus and all that. So
you just need time to grieve, just need time just don't do anything and just be with yourself. It's just important. And also to a lot of actually from Down We Go, the lyric I've just finished after he passed away. So sort of came to me how to finish that lyric actually. Okay, shit, yeah, that's what it was about,
So that's why that song kind of gets me sad then, and because I got that sense of loss when I was listening to it,
It is about loss, and but you have to move on. And but you want to move on, you have to, but you don't know how at the moment. That's a bit the idea.
Yeah, everything with time, with grief. Creating something, it's all time. So, So next on the agenda, I want to move on to talking about the concept for the video for Push. Looked like it was fun to do. Looked like the space you did it in might have been a little bit cramped. I don't know if that's true, but I love the video. It looks great. I love the attitude the band has on camera. Really works great with the song. Can we talk about how that came together?
After I Know Nothing, the first release, we thought it would be very good for bookers and people to see us perform. We're not just animated video. We're a band, so it would be important to see us play the music. And we have I think one of the most legendary places in the Netherlands here in our town Hengelo. It's called the Innocent. The Innocent is I think a legendary hardcore punk venue.
From origin, it's a punk rock venue, but really, really small. Right now it's small. It can maybe 80 90 people. But a couple of years ago, the place was only half of that. So it was really, really small. When you walked in, you stepped right straight into the mosh pit and just got your ass kicked immediately. So you have to run, place your jacket somewhere there, and then go back and see the band. And upstairs, there's where you see all these posters and pictures on the wall and on the ceiling.
It's the backstage, yeah.
That's the backstage area. That's all kinds of bands that played there and toured there, and it's also a lot of American bands played there. I think it's world famous, the place.
Yeah, band Madball. Madball.
I think so. Yeah.
Terror.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, First Blood. Last Sunday they had the Full Blown Chaos. It's all these metalcore, hardcore bands from the early 2000s that are all popping back up.
You're right. There is a resurgence for a lot of those bands that aren't really active anymore. That's a big thing here in the States too, by the way. There's a lot of bands from the early 2000s, mid 90s to late 90s that are just popping up again and doing stuff.
Yeah.
But the look of the video in the music video looked really neat. And you're talking about the bands that played there and the kinds of bands they were, like the kind of energy their music has. For as small as the place sounds like it is, you'd almost think that it might kind of bring the venue down on itself if something's too loud from all the vibration of like the bass and people jumping around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the backstage room was packed. It was too small.
Yeah.
You know, there was a bit of the purpose of it. You know, it has to be. We had in mind actually also one of the older Deftones videos. I think it's 7
words.
7 words.
Yeah.
It's this old punk rock skater videos. You know, it's
Gritty images.
Yeah, exactly. That was what we had in mind because that's where we come from. So we wanted to sort of bring an homage to what we were, to our roots. So that's why we choose that venue. Yeah, and they helped us play our first show. They're always very supportive. So it was a nice place to start all that.
Yeah, it's kind of like giving thanks.
Yeah, exactly.
To the venue. Yeah. That's cool, man. And then we could touch on a little bit too the concept. Well, you kind of said a little bit beforehand for Crown for that one. I would like to know a little bit more as far as the kind of like video, like little thing that you have up for that song to go along with the song itself. Like, how'd you think that up?
Crown.
Yeah. There's the it's the I think you said it was animated, or maybe it's just.
Now we have a friend here, and he's a great music director, a video director and video artist, and he for some people they don't like it. We don't care. Is the use of AI, you know. And
I think people. Go ahead.
Now he says you can ignore AI or you can use it to your purpose. And you know the thing that I had about the lyrics and where it comes from, the energy, we could never do that with our budget that we had at the moment to get that right with some camera guy here from town and a few couple of $100. So he's just a great video artist. He's doing creepy stuff as well, you know. So we asked him if he, you know, I told him the story about a neighbor, about the post-apocalyptic idea that I had in mind, and he started creating stuff, and he just sent stuff over at night. Weird times. Martin, look at that. He said, okay. He said, wow, he's still awake. Amazing. Yeah. So that's how it actually came together a bit. Yeah. It's another genius, but a bit creepy mind doing those videos.
Sure.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying about the AI thing. I honestly don't really see why people are so against that, you know, because like you're saying, you either embrace it or you get buried by it because it's kind of like a technology, it's kind of like a new tool, and it opens up a lot of different ways for people to, I guess, express creativeness in a sense, you know. So I agree with you. Instead of pushing it away, and to each their own too with that, you know, if you don't want to embrace it, fine, then don't, you know, go about it the way you want to. But I think it is smart to embrace it, though, all that aside, because it's here. I don't think it's going anywhere. And I do see a lot of positive ways for it to be utilized. You know, the possibilities are, you know, I don't know if they're endless, but there's a lot of possibilities to it. So I'm for it.
Yeah. And you still have to use it to your own advantage. You know, it's not like, I can use it and you probably get something completely shitty and crappy out of it. You know, like wow, when he's using the right words and the right images and knows how to improve the image even more, and then he gets something great out of it. Not everybody can do that as well. So it's like what you feed the system in a way.
You have to train it.
Right. What are some of your thoughts on all that, Carl?
Lately, I've been talking to people who do not embrace AI technology. And some of them were kind of right in some opinions, because there was this tattoo artist here in Hengelo, and he said, I don't want to use AI technology because I'm afraid of getting dumb.
Okay.
So do you think I'm going to use it for everything? I'm not going to use it for everything, but this guy had a point at some time, because he told me Google Maps, when you put your phone in your car and put on Google Maps, and you can drive anywhere, you don't have to pay attention to traffic signs anymore. Well,
that's correct.
When you throw away the phone and then drive, well, good luck with that then, if you're using that. So he had a good point, and I use AI intelligence for my work as well, and it just keeps a lot of unnecessary work out of hands.
Right. Yeah.
If you use it the correct way.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, and I think some people have like that apocalyptic image of their mind that, like, the movie Terminator put out back in the 80s, like, oh, if AI comes about, it's going to be what Terminator was talking about. And it's, it is going to come up against us and attack us. And, who knows, is that possible? Who knows, but I think it's being a little bit prematurely afraid of something just because your opinion was influenced by something that wasn't real, like in a story for a movie, So yeah, I see, like you were saying, Carl, there's a point to both sides of that for AI, people who embrace it, people who don't embrace it. So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And the guy who told me he was afraid of getting dumb. Yeah, I understand. He's also a tattoo artist. Maybe he told me maybe in a few years there will be some sort of machines who can tattoo for him, so he'll lose his skills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But maybe you can have new skills as well.
Yeah,
training the AI or something like that. That's a difficult too.
I think it's a thin line, when I write my lyrics, I'm thinking in German and in Dutch. I'm from Germany. I live here since years, and I think I'm fully. My Dutchness took over, so I dream Dutch as well. But yeah, when I write my lyrics that are in English, I just try to get everything out of my head first. How with my own vocabulary to get it on paper, and after that, when I have like, okay, that for me it sounds correct, and the grammar is fine, and I can put the whole lyric and put it in an AI correction and ask him, just, do you have any advice for me to make it flow better or whatever? Mm-hmm. And it's like minor adjustments or things that just probably English native speaking people could correct. That does the job for me, because I don't know. It's not my language, It always keeps on being a foreign language. So you have to, and we want to do it the correct way. I want to talk to you in America because you like my songs. We don't sing any rubbish. That's it's very important to me. Yeah. So for that, it's a good tool, but it's a tool. It's not something that's the job for me.
Yeah, no, I get it completely. And then we're not going to keep you guys too much longer, but I do want to touch on a couple more things. There was a live show you guys did pretty recently, correct?
Yes, the EP release show, yes.
Yes. For an Ilaender show, how much rehearsing do you guys do, if any, as far as how you want your live show to go? Or do you guys just kind of get up there on that stage and just let it rip?
I think we're pretty consistent in rehearsing. We have I never had that before, any other band, but now we have a weekly rehearsal, so that's what we do, and then even 2 or 3 times before a show. That is important because you have that stuff. Yeah, everything is still new. We had our first gig in January, and then now I think 3 or 4 gigs further, and we had this pretty big show on a big stage, and you can't do that without rehearsing. You have to work your butt off,
Yeah.
Anyway, and then get that. It's then still emotions will take over and nervousness to and you mess up, but that's all right. Something that's pretty American to me. All the time when American bands come over, they work like a machine. I don't know what that is. It's like when you hear an American band playing, it's a machine rolling, and there's no mistakes. It's so well rehearsed. It's such a pleasure to listen to those bands. Like, wow. I don't know if any European band is as rehearsed and working as American bands. I think it's it's mentality or whatever, or work ethic. So we try to take that as an example for how you should do that.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good ethic. We could call it ethic to have when approaching your live show. You want to sound good. You want to give people a show that they feel they got value for their dollar or for their money, and you also want to leave that show feeling good about your performance. I've witnessed bands that I've seen live where I leave the venue after the show, whether they were an opener, the headliner, or whatever, or an up and coming band, where it just kind of seemed like they were there to do a thing, and that's really all as far as they went with it. They weren't really concerned about sounding good or making an impression on the audience. And openers are there to get the crowd warmed up and woken up, and I've seen bands that open that just were just like, whatever, play a couple of songs and then get off the stage so we can get back to doing nothing. It almost felt like. So I'm not surprised that you guys rehearse and make sure your show is going to be worthy of the people that come and see you. So I respect that, and I think that is really great to hear.
I think, it's for me, it's a lot of money for us. People pay serious money for a ticket, so you have to give your best. I don't know. I wouldn't do any different. If you don't treat that with respect, then you're in the wrong business, I guess.
Yeah.
Because if you,
not every show is the same.
Even more. It's the same way it is with support slots. If you're a support band for a band that is maybe selling out a venue, you get a full room of people that haven't heard of you before. Do your best. These are all maybe new fans for your followers or friends, whatever you want to call it, for your band, for your project. So you have to try to be better than the main act. That's the approach. Even you won't make that, but you have to try. Otherwise, you won't convince them to follow you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's an opening slot at a show is not a bad thing to have. There's some bands that might look at that opening slot as like, oh yeah, we'll get you on the bill. But think of it in this kind of context. You kind of said it. That's exposure for your band on that opening slot. You're kind of introducing who you are as a new band, And so I agree completely. Go up there and give it everything you have, not just for the other bands there, but for your band. You want
the promoter and the owner of the venue is going to be there as well. Maybe you earn yourself the main slot for another time.
Yeah, you just never know, man. Exactly. You just give it everything you got.
Yeah, and we like to do that. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and like I said, I hope I get to witness that in person one day. So that'd be really awesome to have the experience of. Genuinely, yeah, I would love it.
Travel. So, but let's hope that that's going to work out. It would be perfect.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to say it will. I know it will. Who knows when, but it will for sure. You guys work hard. Your music, you hear that in your music and your live show. You guys you want that for yourselves, and you respect what you do, and you respect yourself. So that'll pay off in the long run. You don't strike me as the kind of band that would be like, oh, it's taking too long. You know, some bands get that way, and they're like, it's taking too long to get this or that. Live in the moment, because everything good comes to those that work hard and that really want it.
And we are fans of small venues as well. You know, if you have a venue that is packed with 60, 70 people, and it's just that's it. You can have the most fun nights as well as if in front of 500 to 1,000 people.
Yeah, man.
Those are my favorite kinds of venues, actually. I love those intimate, small club kind of theater venues. They're my favorite. I think bands sound the best in that kind of setting. And got hair in my mouth. To wrap this up, I just want to say how much I've appreciated and been really grateful to have you two on the show to talk about your band and your EP Alpha, which I hope is as well received as it was for me in my experience with it. And for fans of Deftones and Queens of the Stone Age, Muse, Finch, just fans in heavy melodic music in general, I promise you, if you give this EP a chance from Ilaender, you will love it as well. Again, gentlemen, the EP is phenomenal. A really big fan of it. I'm a broken record with this, but again, thank you for coming on. And I would be happy down the road when some more stuff is coming out. If you'd want to come back on again,
sure,
just say the word and I talk to however many times they want to come on. There's no limit to this.
You can bring some other guys
to work. Yeah, you can put me to work doing some promo in these little interviews for you, and I'll just spread it around as best I can, and just show you love and support. So
Thank you.
Thanks for being on.
Thanks for having us.
By the way, I look forward to what's coming next from you guys. If it's any indication with the first EP, I'm expecting this to be even bigger. So
it's going to be epic as well.
Yeah, I believe it. Again, everybody, Ilaender, their EP just came out, and it's great. Go follow them on their Instagram, their Facebook, and get that the EP, and let them know what you think on their socials. I hope you guys have a great night. I'm going to go and do some adult stuff with my car and get on with my day as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Have a good one.
You too, man. Bye, Will.
Bye.